Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DX Guts vehicle Gutswing 02 from Ultraman Tiga. You can see him featured very prominently here on the left side of the packaging. This is being released in conjunction with the 25th anniversary of Tiga. It's really the 25th anniversary of Tiga, but they're celebrating Tiga, Dyna, and Gaia kind of all together. But I believe this is actually from Tiga. Now, very much like the Gutswing 01, it has a standby mode, a flight mode, and a hyper mode. So we'll be taking a look at all three of those. Not too much going on the top, certainly not much going on the bottom. Nothing really on this side either. And then over here just shows the three different modes. If we take a look on the back, it does have some lights and sounds. So you can see there's a little battery compartment they show off there. There's an on and off switch. There's a button. It also comes with a little bass, much like the 01. And then you have a couple of different sound effects depending on if you hold the button down or if you just press it. We'll listen to all those. And then it just shows you how to transform it. And it looks like it comes with this effect piece, which is actually kind of neat. So we'll be sure to check that out as well. And the batteries are included, which is always nice. So that's pretty much it for the packaging. Gonna go ahead and get this guy out of here and we'll take a closer look. So here it is out of the packaging. I have it on the stand in the standby mode. And just like with the 01, it's a situation where the peg holes are two different sizes and the pegs are two different sizes. This one fits in kind of snugly, and then this one is really just there for show. But it's just so that it doesn't get stuck in there and unable to be removed. So appreciate that. There's not too much going on with the stand itself. If we zoom in real close, you can see that it says Guts. And then again, it says 96 Subaraya Productions. I still can't tell if that's a 6 or an 8. It's just too small. But in any case, it's a cool little stand. It gets the job done. Putting that off to the side for a moment, here is the Gutswing 02. And it's basically the same color scheme as the 01, just kind of inverted. Whereas instead of yellow being the main color with black accents, this is black as the main color with yellow accents. And they still have a little bit of red, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, I mean, this is it. It's got wheels on the bottom, which is nice. It can roll fairly well. And here is the little effect piece, which will come into play a little bit later on. So if we go ahead, it does have an on and off switch here, and it has the speaker. I believe the speaker is right here. And then this is the battery compartment right here if you ever have to change the battery. So go ahead and turn it on. So you can hear it makes a couple sounds. If we go ahead and hold it down, so it has 3 sounds if you hold it down and then 6 sounds if you just click it. So nothing too exciting. And honestly, the LED is kind of covered up in this mode, so you can't even really see it. But we'll get there. So let's go ahead and transform into the flight mode. All you do is flip the wings to the side. Now it is kind of neat. This part of the wing extends as you flip that out. So if you keep an eye on this right here, you can see how that kind of flips out. And then you just push this up. And then there you go. You are in the flight mode. That's all there is to it. I can go ahead and put this back on the stand here. And then I'll bring in the 01 so you can see them in flight mode together. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So now if we go ahead and transform into the hyper mode, that's it. You just pull that open, it reveals a cannon inside. And now if we use the sound effect button, you can see that it lights that LED in the barrel of the cannon, which is actually pretty cool. And what you can do is, let me take it off the stand temporarily. Take the effect piece, and the little peg on the very end right there is going to peg in there, while these bars are going to kind of slot in right here and here. So you kind of have to peg that in and then slide this into this section here. And then that kind of gives a kind of cool effect piece of the energy building up and then firing out of the cannon, which I think is pretty neat. And if you hit the button again, unfortunately the LED is not strong enough. It doesn't light up the entire effect piece, which would have been nice, but I understand. It kind of just lights up this immediate area, which is a little bit of a bummer, but yeah, I guess it lights up a little bit more. It's just not a very strong LED, unfortunately. But I do think the effect piece is pretty cool. Gonna go ahead and put that back on there. So it's okay. We can bring in the 01 and I'll quickly transform this into hyper mode as well. Now there was no effect piece for this one. And like I said, to me the hyper mode kind of looks more like a car than anything, but the hyper mode for this one is really just unveiling the cannon. But here they both are in the hyper mode. Unfortunately, kind of another lackluster release. I mean, it's a cool little jet, and I do kind of like the hyper mode where it kind of opens up and unveils the cannon. I think that's kind of cool. And I like the gimmick of having the LED in the barrel of the cannon, but at the same time, if you have that cannon section closed up, you can't see the LED at all. At least with the 01, it had the little kind of pieces, or I guess maybe they're supposed to be like turrets or laser beam areas. And the cockpit also lit up a little bit. So, you know, even if you couldn't see the front section, you could at least see the cockpit. And I feel like the cockpit doesn't light up here. So if you have the cannon covered up, you really don't see the LED at all. It does have a decent amount of sound effects, but I'll be honest, most of them sound alike, and I really can't distinguish one from the other. They're all just kind of generic beam or jet sounds. Nothing too exciting there. I do really enjoy the effect piece. I think that's a really cool feature. I wish the LED was a little bit stronger. Ideally, I'd like it to light up the entire thing, but even half would have been nice. Unfortunately, it really just lights up the base, basically the part that fits inside right up next to it. I do really appreciate that it comes with a base as well, though. I do think that's kind of a nice feature, especially for having a jet toy. I think that's nice. But again, at the end of the day, if you don't have a real strong connection to Tiga, you could probably pass on this one. It doesn't really do a whole lot. Now, if you love Tiga, it's one of your favorites, go for it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think it's a fairly accurate representation of the jet from the show. I just, like I said, for someone who's never seen Tiga and doesn't really have a strong attachment to Tiga, this is just kind of a mediocre jet toy. So, not to trash it, because like I said, I don't think it's bad. I think it does what it's supposed to do. It's just not all that exciting to someone who's never seen Tiga. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.